In the blue, he is happy.
You're introducing them as if like there was an audience there and stuff. It's epic.
You're the only audience I have, Todd, and that's all I need. In the upper left, in the red, our Protoss player, he is Haas. Am I saying it right? Haas, right?
Yeah, Haas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Haas or Haas?
Something interesting to note about this map is that Happy, he's got a sick build on this map. I played against him a bunch of times on ladder. No, it's not one of the stories where I actually beat him and I'm bragging. I got absolutely trashed every single time I play against this.
You could have lied. I would have covered for you. I'd have been like, yeah, he's been taking him out every time. Lucky for him, he's only cast in this tournament, guys.
Yeah, you don't have to. He goes for like a gas first, and then he drops Widow Mines, but basically because the rush distance is so short.
Yeah, by air for sure, yeah.
It's the fastest Widow Mine drop that you can do on any map.
Really?
It comes at like, I don't know, like 4 minutes or 5 minutes something, goes right into your main. You start losing probes a lot of the time, and even if you have the perfect defense, then he does a 1-1-1 with like one Liberator, one tank, and 5 Marines. And you think that's
so
not much,
interesting
right?
because, yeah, I mean, if you slow him down early on, then you probably can do a weird timing to follow that up that might not normally work, but it's like, yeah, but I already slowed you down once.
It's so hard to hold, actually. It's crazy. Like, I was speaking with Harshdem about it a while back, too, and he was telling me, like, even if you know it's coming, it's incredibly hard to stop. Like, you just have to get a perfect game. Probably not expand, which, to be honest, is going to play right into Haas's hand because he doesn't expand very often and loves to cheese.
Yeah,
so.
he likes to do a lot of these one-base builds. It's kind of weird when you have like 2 players that actually like to both do very aggressive builds and not expand.
Look at this.
Whoa, look at this.
This is Haas for you,
This
man.
is Haas. He's a young tasteless. Look at this cheese. I got a single tear coming down my eyes. This is great.
Throwing down the tasteless pylons.
Look at these. Oh, these are some great tasteless pylons coming down here now. All right, so keep in mind, even if he's taking out these pylons, he's not mining with the SCVs. And clearly, Haas is not going to stop. Now, the probe goes down, so there might be a moment where he can actually stifle this. But the Mothership Core has a very short route. In fact, it's already about halfway down there.
So far, the defense has been good, but if only one of these overcharges goes up, he's going to prevent a lot of mining time here from Happy, and he's going to delay his build as well. I'm pretty sure he wanted to do this 1-1-1 I talked about. The pylon is going to get shut down just on time. Gets one SCV, and then attacks the gas.
That was really weird. He attacked the gas there. That was unexpected.
So, almost a perfect defense there. He lost one SCV here, only did Happy. He can start the starport shortly after this. He's, resume the gas mining here, and he's on 64. So this was a sick defense. But behind is the Stargate tasteless.
That was, yeah, he's not done yet, man. This is actually pretty cool, though. Like, really solid hold here. Again, the 2 very special players right now. We see the eBay block coming in here as well. I think a really great follow-up. Even though Haas is known for doing one base, this definitely limits the options.
I mean,
and he lets the eBay finish, man.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to be able to make turrets back at home. Maybe he's going to upgrade armor out of there. I don't know, Todd. Who knows?
You know what? He made 1 turret.
Yeah. I was actually
funny.
talking to Rotterdam about this, but like, yeah, I guess it's not that much money that you're gonna lose if you get it. So you might as well just get that, and it's a few extra HP to make that over there.
How's the defense gonna be though? That's the question here with the Phoenixes that he's gonna get.
So wait, I'm sorry. Do you think Happy is he actually going to do this build?
Yeah, I think
it seems like this would actually be even stronger considering the bungled rush there from Haas. He lost a lot of minerals with the.
There is Phoenixes though, and like Overcharge is also really good against this. Like Happy is a lot of the time relying on the possibility for the Protoss to be out of position with the Mothership Core, and he kind of hopes that he's going to be able to drop the Widow Mines there when it's away. Because if it's there and you use Overcharge and you pick up the Widow Mine, you have the perfect defense, then suddenly you're in a much better position.
So then what do you think would be the play here? We got 3 gates going to be total here. Does he actually just stay? Oh, I was actually talking about Protoss. Sorry, I meant like what kind of tech do we see from this? And does he actually expand, or is he just keeping a probe there to try to throw him off?
He's supposed to. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
I was gonna say supposed to, but it has, so he's probably not going to. But actually, Has is like one of the players as well, like who's been taking like gold bases.
Hey, that's smart too, man. It's tough to keep up, strats like this because eventually people start to be like, okay, just look for everything. But yeah, if he can make it work, that would be pretty smart. Okay, good job. Actually intercepting here. He goes going to take out that Widow Mine, putting the pressure on that medevac. I don't think he can continue to try to drop with this.
I was just actually joking with Artosis about this. He was telling me, oh, that's me. I always have like 1 Phoenix in the red. And then I feel like I have to go back in and I always lose it. He's like, I feel like I have to. I can't help it.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, But everybody has that where it's like,
Yeah.
well, if I'm really a good player, I should be using this still and just not lose it. And then
Yeah.
you go in there and lose it, and you're like, oh, okay.
It just happens, man.
Okay, so he's got the Phoenix just patrolling out here.
Yeah. You
and
know, just because he went for the command center, by the way, Happy's probably still going to be aggressive because he already has that starport. If he gets a couple tanks, 2 to 3, 1
Yeah.
or 2 liberators,
Yeah.
then his Marines are just going to be so strong with the synergy that builds up with like the double siege of the tanks.
Well,
and
on this
liberators.
map especially, I mean, you can push so quickly over on this map, and there's not actually a ton that Protoss can really do to stop it. So we got the Forge of the Twilight Council, so this is a pretty modest progression right now for Haas as far as teching up goes. It looks like he's actually playing, pretty reasonable considering, this crazy rush that started out.
That's the Phoenix still alive.
There he is, man. Well, it's definitely not Artosis in that seat right there.
What is it going to be, though? Like, when you go for Twilight Council like this, a lot of the time is, to upgrade these adepts, maybe attack upgrades as well. But
He might want to go for Blink because dropping is so strong on this map, but I'm not sure, actually. Haas really does have his own way of approaching the game, right?
against what he sees right now, if he thinks there's going to be a big push, going for a charge could be very good as well. But you know what? He does something that nobody would expect out of Haas and starts
this is
with the
very,
Nexus.
kind of textbook Protoss, He's just monitoring the Terran, and he's going to just take a third base, and he is going for the Adept upgrades here, along with +1 attack. With Happy, I'm not sure when he's going to attack. I think it might be before Haas in this case.
Yeah, I think with the way Happy has been waiting now, I think he waits at least for that. Oh, he just scans. He waits at least for the steam pack. Scans the third base very smartly. So I think waiting until that third Nexus is up, because really there is no advantage from starting that Nexus up until the point it gets up and you start mining from it.
Yeah.
Waiting until it's up and then doing a timing with tanks and liberators around that area is going to be great here for Happy.
No, I think you're right about that. There's no need to push out and try to make him cancel. Actually let it finish and then lay the trap, come out there, take it out. And you don't even really have to push any further with that. But you can if you want to, if you're winning hard enough, I guess.
Maybe a Dark Shrine with this? I wonder what he's going to get on top of this, because like going for Adepts is nice, sure, but it feels like you need to add something else. Unless, I guess you're sure that the Terran will do a massive push and commit to it, which in this case, so far, there is no third command center from the Terran player.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I think he definitely Happy has to attack coming up here, because otherwise Haas is just going to stay back and get way more ahead here. And we actually have 2 more gates on the way. So, the minerals are really starting to kick in from that third base, and Haas is going to have a pretty formidable army if Happy doesn't do something pretty quickly.
He's staying on 39 SCVs. That's really
low. That's interesting. Well, I guess he must have a timing. Maybe he waits for combat shields to finish.
This could buy a bit of time, but as long as tanks get dropped here and snipe this. But Phoenixes are going to be flying around, like
I think he's got
vultures.
those. I think he's got those pylons positioned in a way that it's a little bit harder for the tanks to comfortably get them without possibly having the Protoss come down and try to snipe the tanks.
That's a super delayed timing though for Happy. Like he's almost mined out in the main. Like these mineral patches, and he's gonna drop more barracks.
Wow.
Actually, like you can delay this a lot. That's the thing, because he's going for double siege with the tanks and supposedly liberators that he should have been getting for a while. He can actually delay that a lot, but actually he hasn't made any liberators. That's pretty weird.
Yeah, well, let's see. The push is now coming out, and this is going to be a pretty central moment right now. Is how much damage can actually be done? All right, he spots a medevacs. He's moving up now.
I think Haas can crush this. If he can buy a little bit of time, gets enough adepts, then goes in, picks up all the tanks, and fights the Marines. This is fake, by the way. I think he should.
Oh yeah, no, he's just peeking for that.
Wow, that's a lot, by the way. Look at this, the Artosis army.
That's right. Well, what's interesting, Todd? He actually decided to back up here.
Because these Phoenix are very threatening. They're always flying around here trying to catch up reinforcements.
Yeah.
And he hasn't made any turrets in the area, so he's very poorly covered. So if Terran was to siege here, then those Phoenixes can just go there and catch everything that's coming out of this production here. Ghost Academy.
Wow. He's just doing this 2-base style of play, and he's pretty much finishing up the tech tree with this. I do worry, though, because this base has been up for so much longer, and I believe it is still 39 workers. Or no, it's actually 40 now. But yeah, I mean, he's just staying on this really low worker count. He's not engaging.
Whoa, Artosis.
Whoa, Artosis. He actually took out a couple of those Phoenixes.
3, I think, right?
Yeah, I believe it was 3 Phoenixes. Yep. And he's getting closer to push it in. Now the problem also when you try to push in from this angle is that you have a pretty sick funnel.
Doesn't this remind you of like the games you casted in? I think it was like GSL, like Seed and stuff. Remember those games?
Oh yeah. It was just like
We just started
comical
laughing.
amounts.
Yeah. You just started laughing as the fight took
Well, it was
place.
like one of these games where it's like Mario like barely holds it off, and I'm like, that's so sick. This is gonna be a great game. And then I see like 20 more adepts come in. I'm like, oh no, he's dead. Never mind.
They've been changed since then, but they're in great numbers. They are tasteless.
Yeah.
And the EMPs changed the fight.
Let's hope so for his sake. Now he's already doing some damage to these adepts. Some siege tank shots are getting off. He's going to try to stack on top of these tanks. They phase in. You know, he's picking up the tanks so that they cannot be hit here. He needs to drop it back down if he wants to do that damage. So many adepts though on the low ground, and Phoenix is able to chase these medevacs.
But he's not,
Happy
though.
has to back out.
Yeah, cleans up very nicely here. There's the third base on the way here behind this for Happy. The counter attack might just happen there.
Yeah, I
has
think
one
he
of
just
the
kills
best
him.
killer instinct in the business here in StarCraft 2. So
Yeah,
I'm pretty
no
sure he's gonna
kidding.
attack.
Okay, so he just comes in now. Does he just go kill him? I mean,
maybe
this
he can
is-
just shade in and then cancel if there is too much, which there isn't.
Yeah, I think he can
Yeah,
just
he's just
survey
gonna
where
let
the
it.
tanks are. He's like, oh, look at that. There's two next to each other. I know how to do this. I played enough StarCraft. I know where I go shade in. Right there. And he goes in and takes out these Marines and these tanks. And there it is. GG. Pass.
Delivering in map number 1.
That's right.
Very nicely done. Man, every time Haas plays somebody, I'm like, he's just a cheeser. Just like hold and win. And the initial hold was beautiful, I think,
really
against the
was.
pylons. But it's just after that, like, Happy. His build was weird. He was going for the 1-1-1. He's like,
Well,
nah, you know
it
what? I'm
seemed
going
like
to expand.
he waited a long time, actually,
yeah.
before he pushed out. And, you know, I'm always open to ideas like that. So I'm like, okay, let's see this thing work. And then it's like, no, I have so many adepts. And he took them out pretty easily. So
this was the
win.
tasteless build, right? Because it won.
If it wins, it's a Tasis build. If it's not, it can be a Happy build or an Artosis build. It can be whatever you want to call it,
A top
basically.
build.
Yeah. No. Not when you're casting with me, man. Now, let's see. Do we know what the next map is? I'm actually not sure. I don't
We're
know.
about to find out.
Okay.
Let's see.
Guys, by the way, tell your friends to join us here on the B stream. We're going to be having a lot of fun. I am getting to cast with all the people I never casted with. I've worked on the desk with you. I've known you for a long time. But we've never casted together before, so this is a lot of fun.
You
And
casted me playing Warcraft 3, right?
I casted you playing Warcraft 3.
Once
did.
upon a time.
Long ago, man. I saw a lot of towers, and I'm like, oh, there he goes again. He's making towers out there. He's really not that different from me in Brood War. But yeah, no, I loved
The
casting
sick
games.
call-outs.
Yeah, man. It's good. Okay, I like that. That's my style. All right, Dust Towers is going to be our map.
Yeah.
Do you have any like special strats you think that Haas would do on this map, or
Oh,
Happy
man,
for
like,
that matter?
I've spent years trying to predict this guy and always get it wrong. Almost
Yeah.
like it's just not possible. Definitely one of the better maps for Happy to try and just play solid overall against somebody like Has. Like you're never safe though. Like you miss like anything on the map. Like even you could probably like scout his main, see a robo there and be like, oh, I'm safe against oracles. No, he still has his target on the map and is making oracles. Like this guy is just so tricky. So I feel like it always comes down to, can you defend the first few cheeses that he's gonna go for? And sometimes when I say cheese, like he's even capable of going for a Nexus first and play very greedy because nobody would expect it out of him.
Yeah, he does
So
like
it's
the economic cheese where he's
Yeah.
like, it does a really unexpected
Yeah.
greedy play.
But more often than not, it's more like he will go for like a sick rush like he did now with like some units and even maybe some pylons down the ramp, for example, and then go straight into a Stargate. And you need to read it right. The time you think it's Stargates, it's actually going to be Blink Stalkers and then you die because you
Yeah.
have turrets and they do nothing. So it's very, very tricky to play against this guy. You need to scout a lot and you need to get lucky.
Man, well, Happy's got his work cut out for him here. We're just still waiting for I think, yeah, you got to start the game. Okay, so we're going to start this. What's happened again?
Call-outs.
This is game number 2, Haas against Happy on Dust Towers. As we continue on here today, we've had a lot of great games today, by the way.
StarCraft history was made, would you say?
History was made, man. That series.
The tasteless seal of history approval.
It gets my signature of approval, man. That was a great series that we had earlier on. All right, looks like our map is loaded up. We're going to throw this up on screen for you guys now as we go into game number 2 here. Haas against Happy. Introducing our players down in the bottom left in the blue. He is Happy.
No, he's not. He just
Or,
lost
well,
the
yeah,
first
he was
map.
actually not that happy. He's actually kind of sad. But he will be happy if he wins this game. And in the upper right, in the red, our Protoss player, he is Haas.
becoming a little bit of a legendary Protoss, man, because
Yeah,
of his
man.
crazy style. Like, a lot of people look at his games with a lot of interest. He's definitely one of the more entertaining players out there, I would
I
say.
love casting crazy plays like this. It's so exciting.
Okay, he's already scouting. This hadn't been done since Heart of the Swarm, Tasteless.
Yeah, what's going on here? Is it going to be a proxy, possibly? Let's see. You know, some Terrans, they do get the wall off right away, and then you can't really tell what's going to happen for the rest of the game, so there's definitely a chance it's that.
Another gas first, by the way, by Happy. I didn't expect that on this map. It's very tricky. Like, if he was to wall now and doesn't let the probe in, then you have to kind of keep on wondering exactly what he's going to be. But just by seeing the timing on that barracks, Has will already know no matter what that it's gas first, and he's actually even going to get in there. Look at how safe Happy is, even scouting for proxies. I mean, he knows who he's playing against.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's definitely prepped well for this. Do you think he could do that really cool, whoa, hold on.
Adept rush? Oh, actually, you can get stalkers out of this and then pylon down the ramp and then kill the entire wall.
Yeah.
Which I guess he anticipated Happy was going to do. So this could be really good here for Has. But the probe gets trapped inside Tasteless.
Yeah, look at that, man. Probe's going to keep looking around. I was going to ask you, do you think this could possibly be that build that you were saying where he gets like just that insane early Widow Mine and hopes to blindside him there? Because that might actually work pretty well against what he's having to deal with here because he's not getting detection right away.
Yeah, probably not anymore, because I think it wouldn't be the best of choices right now. Like Happy, you see, like he's going to scout the main, he sees the double gateway. He probably already knows that he's going to be like something like double Stalker, 2 or 3 pylons down the ramp to bust this, which usually a good way to defend it is get a bunker down the ramp, but now it's already too late. He's already started it there because he didn't know what was happening. So I think getting tanks to get rid of those pylons then maybe would be a better choice, but we'll see what he goes for.
Yeah, I actually got to agree with you there. I think, if he could just go directly to the tanks, that would segue well. He could get rid of any aggression, and he'd also get, you know, his soon-to-be base up pretty quickly. I'm also wondering if we're going to see Happy do any that kind of interesting powering on one base and doing just like this timing again, like that here.
Yeah, it has though. Like having scouted everything there was, instead of going for the pylon rush for now, he's just okay. Now he's maybe still going for it. Kind of a little bit delayed on the pylons there, but he goes for his target in the main.
Does he want to get an Oracle to follow this up?
Yeah, usually
you could definitely blindside a guy and
absolutely.
get him in his main, you know, and start taking everything out.
And Happy actually skipped on the tank. Like Cyclone's also very, very good at dealing with this kind of aggression. And behind this, they're better, like if there were to be a Stargate. So this could be an ideal scenario here for Happy.
Yeah, he might set this up perfectly. All right, he's got the SCVs pulled, so this is going to be pretty annoying.
And the thing about this though, like if you kill the wall here, like even just one of the depot, there is the threat that you can send in adepts, because then they just shift past this entire wall because it's open.
Yeah, that's true actually. So he's gonna have to keep a lot of stuff over here in the front to defend. It looks like actually the depot's getting lower. Can he get the depot in time? And it looks like barely he's gonna be able to keep that alive. Good plays there, and he's actually not going to get the Oracle. We can't predict anything this guy does correctly. He's now going to go for the Phoenix here. Okay.
I warned you, man.
I know. I got to stop doing this. I got to go straight into just play-by-play of all the boring stuff. I'm like, well, there's another pylon. He needs that for supply. Back to you, Todd. Your turn to talk. Okay, well, yeah.
That's the thing, though, about Has. In this kind of scrappy game where you have a lot of decisions to make with incomplete informations, and you know that it's the case as well for your opponent.
Yeah.
He makes the most of the situation very well. Like right now, he was like, okay, like this rush is not working. He's maybe gonna expect an Oracle behind this, so I'm just gonna go Phoenixes and play defensive and start a second base because he's not gonna expect that.
Yeah. God, he really does play a very unique game. It's interesting because it's almost like he has his own meta for how to approach this, you know? And it's funny because it probably punishes players who just ladder a ton and get used to a certain play style. So we got the Phoenixes over here. Now he's been pooling them pretty effectively, and this may end up devouring that medevac that's going to come in here, as he's probably not going to be able to get away with very much here. Coming in now, looks like he backs up. He actually spots that Stargate and says, "Oh, wait a minute, I'm gonna get back. This is an unwise decision."
Yeah.
Good call there by Happy.
That's so smart, actually. A lot of players, they would still commit their unit to this, but now it's probably like, okay, there is this Stargate out, no Oracle flew into my main. You probably got Phoenixes. That's a very quick deduction, which is gonna save him a few units. And as I say that, he boosts it across the map.
Yeah, what's going on? This is gonna be a problem, man. Well, let's find out. It looks like he might want to try to come in here and maybe peek and see if there's the third base up.
Given what's happened in the build orders, by the way, this is a little bit greedy by Has, you know, to go for this quicker third, but We saw in the previous game how much success it brought him. It's funny because like, usually, especially in Heart of the Swarm, I think that Haz was... He expanded a lot less, I think. He was a lot less macro player. He was a lot on one base, two base at most, but barely took a third. And now it seems like he's definitely opening up his play a little bit more.
I gotta say, I'm a little bit surprised that he actually dropped there. I mean, like we were just saying, you know, he should know there's Phoenixes. If he did not see an Oracle, you know, it's pretty obvious that he's hiding Phoenixes, you know. And yet he still dropped that down there. And, you know, it doesn't seem like it's a lot, but just judging from the fact that Happy's done a lot of like just powering like 2-base plays and stuff like that. In this case, it's going to be a 3rd base. But just generally speaking, you don't want to give up your units like that early on.
Absolutely, yeah. A couple more gateways here being dropped down. Gonna go up to, I think it's 4 in total, with the 1 robo being made. And it's gonna be the similar composition as in the previous game, just Phoenixes in the air, Adepts on the ground here for Haz 4 now. And I think he's just gonna try to basically poke with the Phoenixes here to try and do some damage, and at the same time get a good scout of how much his opponent has. And then from there he can decide exactly what he needs to go into.
Well, he's going to keep these Phoenixes for a good while here. I like the gateway explosion. Very cool. Very cool. Do you think he wants to time this out to hit when the 3rd starts to be developed?
Absolutely, yeah.
Down there on the bottom.
And he's going to kill him.
I think he might, man. I mean, look, he's got the Phoenixes to pick up the tanks, right?
Yeah.
He's got the Adepts to kill the everything else.
Steam Pack is only halfway through done as well. Like, it might not even be finished when this hits. Like, these gateways finish so quick. Look at this. This might be brutal.
Well, he's getting the Warp Prism as well here. So he's going to see this landing. Now he just has to survey, okay, where did the tanks go?
Yeah, this is going to be really tough here for Happy. It feels like to have the best chance possible at holding this. I think he just... Where did he scan?
No, there it is. He scans the expansion.
Okay, he sees there is no gas here, which is a big tell that the Protoss could be doing an attack. But he doesn't know exactly what it is. And like I was going to say, ideally, I think he'd need like many turrets and bunkers there to really help against this.
I think so.
Especially the turrets, then the Phoenixes would die very quick if they picked up the tanks. But I mean, regardless, it's going to be a really hard hold if Haz chooses to attack, which I really wouldn't be surprised if he didn't.
He's going to need to make those gateways up there in the warp gates. We have the warp prism about to pop out now, so this should activate the rush. And oh my god, he actually lifts up. Happy's got some really good game senses. Not so much, bro.
Oh, it's so funny. He scanned the 3rd base and saw that there was no gases, so he's like, he's gonna attack, I'm gonna fly into my main. And Haz is like, oh yeah, you are?
Oh, whoa. We got a warp in down here. Nicely done. But there's too many SCVs right now on top of that bunker.
Yeah, he's just throwing away units. Even though like you can afford to throw these away, you don't really want to do that. Against a Terran on 2 bases, like why would you attack? He's got a 4th base coming up, like I was pointing out.
Yeah, no, that actually did not make a lot of sense, especially when he saw that the 3rd base was lifted up. It's like, well, you already did it. You won.
By the way, 2 Warp Prisms, 1 for each base. Jesus.
Oh, look at this, down and dirty Haas. I like it. But the thing is, it's actually kind of overkill though when you really think about it. I mean, he is just on 2 bases.
I think it's very smart because Terran a lot of the time, like say if he drops the Prism there, Terran will send all of his forces to different areas. So
yeah, that is a really good point. He just moves out.
That's happy for you though. He's already like kind of forced on 2 bases. He gets another turret knowing that Haz probably going to try to drop with the Prism.
You know, Happy's always had this very minimalist style whenever he plays RTS games, man. He can do a lot with a little. Now, I am worried, however, for this big attack coming up over here. I don't know if it's the best time to attack, but he might be able to get away with it and make it work anyways. Again, the Phoenixes are supposed to be picking up the tanks, ideally, and the Adepts are going to clean everything else up.
Yeah, Widow Mines, though, are very scary against this kind of composition, especially like Phoenixes, you know, they clump up Adepts as well. If Adepts just shed into the tanks in the bio, though, I don't know what how Happy would handle this with the Widow Mines potentially doing some friendly fire. What is he going to do? Is he going to send, like... Okay, maybe that Prism in the main, but there are turrets.
I think he can actually get him to just in the edge, like right here. There we go.
Wow,
okay.
You're a genius, Tasteless.
I didn't ask for these powers, man. I'm like the Rain Man of cheeses right here. I'm like, I see exactly where you could put it down.
Actually, it was kind of bad, though.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. But hey, I knew the turret couldn't hit it, okay? I get kudos for that. Uh-oh, Todd. He actually managed to pick those Widow Mines up. And this is a huge attack coming up here, but the Observer is just out of range here. He has to back up, and I think Haas might be overextending.
He dealt with the tanks very well, though, and now he's quite a bit ahead in supply. has done 4 bases against a Terran that struggled to take his third. What world is this? He's like a new player, an improved version of his cheesing self, Tasteless.
Yeah, man, he's constantly improving here. The thing is, it looks like he actually is like, okay, I want to end this now, but I don't know if this is the time or the place yet, especially with 2 bunkers coming up here. I mean, really? Are you going to actually break this?
Yeah, it's going to be hard. Happy is like full tower defense mode. He's like one of my old Warcraft 3 replays right now, man.
Yeah, man.
It's like bunkers and turrets.
That's right, man. Well, I look at this and I think you don't have to attack. It's actually the Terran's problem, right? I mean,
yeah.
But, you know, Haas is kind of one of these guys that can, like, do 2 overlapping things.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, the general RTS rules, like, okay, if you're going to, like, build up and make SCVs, don't attack. You know, if you're going to be attacking, don't go and make, like, a forge or something to get a second upgrade, you know. But he's actually kind of doing both at once, and he seems to make it work pretty often.
I feel like if there is any Terran that can win this kind of game where he has to kind of stay at home and then come back, it's Happy. Like, he's so good at turtling when he's behind.
Yeah, he really is.
I've thrown away so many games against him when I was ahead, and then I didn't attack because he was camping, and then he just like kind of maxed out, got his upgrades, got his tech and all that, and it just won. And right now he's getting Liberators, which are going to be very scary for Haas to deal with, so he chooses to go for it, Tasteless.
Widow Mine's coming out, doing a lot of damage here. He's underneath the Liberation field right now. The turret is actually zoning the Phoenix's back. Adepts continuing to go down. However, the fight on the low ground has been won here by Haas.
He's got way more army left over as well. It's 88 for Happy now against 79, and across the map, he sneaked a couple medivacs past the army of Haas. Can Happy do this? He's still quite a bit of supply behind.
He's going to come up here right now. The third base is in a lot of trouble.
He's just going to go down right away. Where's the pushing for?
There's no warp-ins happening over here.
AFK in the main.
Wow. The probes are being evacuated. We have some more adepts coming down here. I don't think this is going to fare too well for them in this position. I'm not sure why he sent this down here to try to engage.
He's going back? Instead of attacking, he knows he can attack up a ramp like that. I mean, this is the sickest trap.
Yeah,
it's like a vortex right there.
There's no way that you would actually be able to make that work. So he's just going to keep making adepts back here and eventually get into this. I feel like he can't just keep making only adepts for the time being. And look at that, he just expands again down there.
Oh, the Phoenix is actually going to go back for the defense.
This is actually a big win here for Haas.
Yeah, he's going to be able to clean up here eventually and still stay ahead in supply ideally, but they're going to lose quite a few probes. He's lost so many. Still ahead in walkers by quite a few though. Happy gets cleaned up here eventually across the map.
This kind of sucks, man. You know, in this matchup all the time, it's like this big balance that Terran has to do between the medevac and the Liberators. And
look at this, by the way, he's going carriers. No, he's not. He's going Tempest.
What's going on? This is madness. Well, I guess if you look over the 4th base, the Terran's going to have to take is he could just stay back there and poke into it.
Maybe
Tempest.
He could fly his main, actually, to the 4th base.
Yeah, that's something else he could do as well. Start taking out those depots and just getting Terran a little bit distracted and maybe try to bludgeon him into the front of his base. And
Happy is always trying to play with the info, by the way. Scans these to see his beat.
This is actually funny, too, because every other player in the world would have just remade the Nexus there. And he's like, no, it's fine. I'll make it down here.
There's more minerals.
Yeah. Happy's like, oh, maybe I'm ahead this game. But he's not. You were right, Todd. We got the Tempest being made here. We're upgrading our air units as we speak. Phoenix is just orbiting around for the time being. As Happy is hungry to take a 4th base, but maybe can't quite do it just yet.
Yeah, for a guy who's been stuck in his bases the entire game, Happy is definitely doing a good job of like making units, starting his 3-3, and he doesn't feel like he's missing much except maybe a couple ghosts, but he's got a few.
Here we go! The Adepts shade in right on top of this army, doing a ton of damage. And this is going to be a bit of a problem. The Liberation Zones do come down on top of this. He's going to try to shade into the main, which I think is going to be a little bit dicey. But will he actually go all the way? He cancels it after pulling him back there.
There's still a lot of Liberators left over, and Haas' army got absolutely trashed there in this fight. It's now 102 army supply for Happy and 67 for Haas. I think if he knew.
I think he can't just keep making adepts.
Yeah.
In my limited understanding of this game, I believe that you can't make adepts until the end of the game, all right?
Unless you win quickly.
Unless you win quickly. But in this case, I don't think that's going to be working.
Either Disruptor or Colossus or Storm, and he's got none on the way right now.
Okay, now he's trying to center set micro forward here to gun down that Tempest. He's going to try to come in one more time. Your Liberation Zones actually being set up on top of these Adepts. I just don't think there's a powerful enough ground force here for Haas to actually take this on at all. And now he's going to be able to actually wipe this out. I think the counterattack, yeah, that's it. Happy wins, GG. I was going to say
GG.
GG. I honestly, like, there's no way he's going to be able to recover from that.
Yeah, like,
honestly,
you didn't
like my GG, I was just spitting on your hand while you're trying to use the mouse. The next one will be better, I promise.
I always expect the most epic of GGs from you, but I have to say that was
I might have used up all my good GGs.
No,
that's my secret. I can only say 13 times a day, and then I run out. My powers.
You've got an infinite amount
It takes
with
mana, okay? You guys don't know that I'm actually a spell unit. Well, that game from Haas was interesting, but it was not...
there was a lot of good moves, but the good moves didn't really outweigh the lack of, I guess, maybe killer instinct in a way.
A little bit of a lack of fundamentals there. I mean, like, you saw the Terran army getting more complex and sophisticated, and he's just, like, keeps making adepts. And
Happy's defense was immaculate. Like, a lot of the time it is.
It really was.
Unless you can really, like, trick him the whole way. Even, like, in the first game, to be honest, like, the initial defense against the pylons was perfect. A lot of Terrans would not have pulled enough SCVs, and that overcharge would have put them really far behind. The overcharge killed... Oh, like, he started, like, what, 5-6 pylons?
Yeah,
the overcharge killed 1 SCV, Tasteless, in game number 1. That's how good the defense was for Happy.
And he lost a lot of money doing that actual rush there. And I guess whenever they're ready to start it, we can go ahead and get right into game number 3. If you're just now joining us, we are casting Happy versus Haas. It's going to be, this next map is on Frozen Temple. Currently, the series tied up 1-1, effectively turning this best of 5 into a best of 3. And yeah, I'm enjoying this. These guys have some very interesting play styles, and I think it could still be anybody's game.
Absolutely, yeah. Honestly, like, these games, if you look at them and, like, you compare them with, like, maybe, you know, some GSL games, like, say, for example, TY versus S, you might think, like, oh, this is, like, such a lower level and stuff, but to me, they're still very interesting in their own way, where, like, these players...
Yeah, I like the way you said that.
They're still pretty darn good, and they have their own style that they're very good at. And
it might not be like StarCraft proper, you know, but it's still interesting, and there's still a degree of depth and character in the play styles themselves. Guys, tell your friends to join us here on the B Team with Tasteless casting with Todd for his very first time. It's been a lot of fun so far. This is actually a really fun set of 2 players to be casting.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
and a clash of styles for sure.
And also, these are the kind of strats I never see in Korea. So this is fun. This is definitely cool. Yeah.
It would be funny, actually, if Haas went to Korea. Everybody would be so confused. Like,
you know, he might actually take some games off some Koreans there for sure. I mean, they would just be like, what is he doing? I have no idea what's going on. This is wrong, but they would lose. And then, you know, Haas would move on to the next round. In the upper left, in the blue, he is Happy.
Now he is, yeah.
Now he is. He's really happy. In the bottom right, in the red, our Protoss player, Haas.
It's so funny how Haas, like, for his results, he's got, like, a certain popularity. Like, he's not one of the most achieved players. Like, definitely, like, one of the better players in Taiwan, if not the best.
Yeah, yeah.
But because of his unconventional style, like I said before, you know, a lot of people will look for his games as particularly entertaining ones, and they'll get very excited when he's playing. And I'm one of these guys because I just love to see, like, a different style than most players. He's so open-minded, he tries different stuff, and the way he adapts is incredible. He's very inspiring. Actually, like, the way he adapts on the fly, sometimes, like, you know, deciding in a split second what he's gonna do next to try and trick the opponents is, I think, like, world-class. Not that many players can do that super well.
He just strikes me as a player who, like, you know, so many people out there, and I would say to a fault, simply copy what they see other players do and be like, okay, that's the best thing to do. I'm going to copy that. I'm not going to challenge it or question it. And you can see that Haas is just not that kind of player. Haas actually, you know, kind of gets out his own drawing board and maps out something that works for him in the way that he sees it, you know, the way he sees and understands the game.
You know, actually, I think he had a build, might have been in Wings of Liberty, where he would go like a proxy Stargate and get like a bunch of Void Rays. Oh no, maybe he was out of the Swarm actually, because he was, I think, making some Oracle first, like 1 Oracle.
Yeah.
He will rush like 1 Stalker, 1 Oracle, and then get Void Rays out of 1 Stargate on 1 base, with 3 or 4 gates, and then attack with Stalkers plus Void Race, and then just kill the bunker instantly, and then win the game and kite with Stalkers.
That's actually so cool.
And he beat MVP in the best of 5 in a show match with this.
So sick, man. What do you think of this 2-gate opening here? He's getting the Stalkers out again.
Yeah.
Is there any chance we're going to have any kind of rush here?
It's the same as
ramp?
last game, basically,
Yeah.
except he's proxied the pylon, but then lost his probe there, which I missed because my observing's terrible. So he might... He's already sending a new one. And that, usually that's going to be for his target almost every time, but with Has, you never know. Like I said before, if he wants to go for a robo here and thinks that, you know, a couple immortals to move
just
up
some
the ramp
immortal
and bust
push
it,
or something, yeah.
But like most of the time, it's almost always going to be a Stargate.
Important to note, he's making the eBay, Happy is, over at this expansion. And because the Stalkers are making a beeline to the entrance of Happy's base, this is going to be, oh, whoa. Look at you, man.
Stargate and the gateway. So he's going to be able to warp in faster in the area.
Yep.
And this target, I'm not quite sure. Usually it's at least for an Oracle into potentially Void Race, but he could maybe go straight into Void Race here because he's going to kill this depot potentially. Second pylon. Last game, remember the one pylon wasn't enough. He's actually being targeted. The mothership core is going to die.
Oh, nicely done there. Happy actually taking out the mothership core and keeping that depot alive. And this is not good, Todd, because we got all these units now, or buildings, I should say, a Stargate and a gateway on the middle of the map, and I don't think he's going to get a lot of value from this.
This strategy here from Has relies a lot on sniping those 2 depots. In the previous game, he wasn't able to do it. He ended up losing, and now this time around again, this plan has been defended completely. And instead of going for any kind of Oracle or anything, go straight into Phoenix. Is he seriously going to play defensive from there with 2 of his buildings
so
on the map?
weird that he's getting Phoenixes there. Is he just going to make a Nexus and like...
You know he is tasteless because he doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense, man. Got the probe down here.
I feel like the probe is staying there, like threatening.
Yeah,
Don't you dare move out. Imagine like Happy just like barely moves out. He sees the probe. He's like, oh god.
Oh god, oh god, it's a trap. Well, we got the command center moving along here. And there is going to be that Nexus. And this is going to be, I would say, one of the harder ways to play PvT because you have this important tech that is necessary and hinged on your win right outside the Terran's base.
Let me check.
He never saw the Stargate, right?
Yeah, he didn't.
Okay.
But
okay.
you know, look at how paranoid he is. eBay.
Yeah, man.
The thing is, out of all the choices that Has could go for, 2 of those choices are, one is Stargates, and the other one is DTs. So you better safe than sorry, right? Get at least 1 turret in your middle line. If you have to scan elsewhere, sure, you'll do it, but you'll stay alive no matter what. Staying alive is like a big part of the mission that you have in order to win against somebody that has.
Yo, this is actually a pretty...
Who attacks like this?
I know, this is pretty crazy, man. And he actually is damaging the medevacs just a little bit. He's really keeping him on one base for a very long time. Scanning over here, he sees the Nexus is on the way, so he's going to be behind in an expansion until he can reclaim possession of the low ground.
Oh, the Artosis Phoenix. Don't do it. I put it behind.
There he goes. Look out, Artie. All right, he's okay.
For now. Actually,
Has
made a lot of Stalkers for somebody who's not going Blink.
I was actually about to ask you, did he get Blink and we missed it?
No, he didn't. No Twilight either.
Wow, okay.
Maybe he's trying to pretend it's Blink, but I don't think Happy cares. Like, he's got tanks.
Yeah, but Blink, when your tanks are at that location, that could be a little bit scary. I mean, hey, man,
I don't think Happy's scared.
Yeah. Well, if you look at it, I mean, he's got that other command center. He's not moved it at all just yet. So he's definitely feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah, the Twilight Council now finally going to go down. Wouldn't be surprised if it's Adepts once more being made here down the line, even though like it's very encouraging when you have this many Stalkers to actually go for Blink. And this is one of the better maps for it as well. Imagine if he was to complete Blink and just hangs around there and threatens to counterattack as soon as Terran moves out. Because he's got the Phoenixes to blink up as well. He can entirely skip on the observers. Even though like there's always going to be the threat of a Widowmine drop, and if you don't have detection, I mean, he's going to have the Forge and can make cannons, but...
And he's sticking with these Phoenixes.
Second turrets? Just from seeing a couple Phoenixes.
Yeah, it seems like it's working, man. It's definitely kept him back, and now he's going to start upgrading to depths, and I think we might sort of see this game tech into the kind of play style that Has was using earlier in game number 2, massing up at depths. It may be more based off of a timing, too, where he just obliterates everything up at the second, just like phases in there. And look at that, we actually got 2 Artosis Phoenixes right now.
They have to die to be Artosis Phoenixes. They have to be red and then
They'll die, don't worry. He's going to come in again.
No, don't do it.
And this is
what is
a little
it?
scary. No!
Gets away. How many gateways are we going to see this time? Probably a lot. And no robo still. That's a big gamble, to be honest.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right?
If one Medivac picked up like 2 Widow Mines, flew around the map, dropped them in the mineral line here, it's like you lose so many minerals. You have to start a cannon. It's just a disaster.
Well, he's keeping the Phoenixes bunched up over here. We're seeing Stim finally start. And when Stim actually finishes, that's where Terran can actually move out on the map and not just completely lose. Once again, Phoenix is taking a little bit of damage. I don't know why he's not moving those. No! No!
You know what these remind me of? Like, long time ago, remember when Huck played this one game in GSL? And he was like, shortly after he had said that he thought he had the top 3 control in the world.
Oh, yeah.
And like, he just stood there with Stalkers and like lost a bunch to tanks, siege tanks or something.
I remember
that game?
Yeah, I do actually. That was pretty funny. I love moments like that. Nice job. Takes out the tank. That's a pretty big win there. Does not get that medevac, but still doing his job.
Oh, there we go.
There he is. Rest in peace, Tosis. You will be missed. Phoenixes are actually backing up now.
This?
What? I don't
There's no third CC.
I know.
Usually, like if Terran is on 2 base, you stay on 3 base, you make enough units and you win. But
you
Has
just like,
you know what?
stay a little bit. He's like, no, man.
Everybody
4
call
bases.
me a cheeser. How cheesy am I now?
Yeah, man. And I would be like, you're really cheesy, man. Why are you doing that? This is crazy. Kind of breaking all the conventional rules here is Haas on how we see the rhythm of expanding pan out in a game like this. More gateways coming down. And not to mention, you know, Happy is actually somebody who can't really move out just yet. I mean, Sim's only just now done, so maybe this 4th base is actually quite a wise decision.
Tasteless. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 gateways.
Damn.
About to complete.
And I think they're all going to be making adepts, dude.
That's
that
gonna be a
Pylon
lot
and
of
Stargater's
units.
still out there. He's like, I'll just make another Phoenix out of
He
this.
just keeps on making them, actually. He's got quite a few, and this time he's kept them alive for the most part. I think he's lost just one. Yeah, just one. One single Tosis Phoenix. Look how happy. He's afraid of just Phoenixes. He almost unpowered these, and he's like, no!
Oh my god!
I'm out of here. The golden Armada is there. Well, not quite, but...
Phoenixes with a lot of energy, by the way. Is he going to try to pick up the Cyclone? No, I guess he's going to just sack this location.
He would have to lose way too many Phoenixes in order to kill this. Like, he could maybe technically, I think, win that fight. He was just trying to buy time, to be honest, and the Haas has done a fantastic job.
Well, we have the 4th base up now, so the minerals are really, the minerals are really going to be kicking in. So this is pretty exciting. I do worry about whenever Happy takes that 3rd base, if Haas is just going to come in there and smash it.
Scans the 3rd base there, just happy, sees the Stargate remaking, the Robo and the additional gateways, probably knows that he's going to be facing a lot of units whenever he goes across the map and fights, which should be, honestly, like he's delaying this timing so much. He's still on 2 bases. No 3rd command center has ever started here in this game from Happy, and he stayed on 43 SCVs. That's really low economy. Oh, he's almost got that. Quite gonna get it though. Here we go again. Mass adepts.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. He's getting that Warp Prism. That's usually an indicator that he's going to try to come in with another timing attack just over here.
I think he's trying to see the army, but it's just not there, man.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he knows where to go look for it.
He should steam a Marine and send it, but I think he's afraid the Phoenixes will catch it.
Good scan there. Snaps at Observer. It's still Happy on 2 bases. I mean, it seems like he's very, very, very weak on economics. They're also
these guys.
43 SCVs to 68 probes, Todd. Todimus Maximus. What do you have to say about that? That's a lot of workers, man.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Like, we're so Happy, though. Definitely capable of beating a massive adept army. He's won one of the previous games, so he'll have to repeat that performance here if he wants to be able to win.
Oh my god.
I just don't know if he has enough. But even though, like, this army is super scary against a lot of adepts, to be honest. Like, remember, there is no AoE in this army. It's just like pure adepts with upgrades, which he's 1-1 right now. That's the 1-0. Happy, who's about to be 1-1 himself. Does he go for it, Tasteless?
I think so. Oh, no, he doesn't. I thought he might do it, just knowing how crazy this guy is. But I mean, his opponent's on 2 base to 4,
I think
so I guess you don't need to
go
do
for it. The Phoenixes are going to move in as well at the same time to maybe pick up the units.
And there it is. He's coming in now, doing a lot of damage. We got So many adepts being gunned down right now. You can see the supply actually beginning to plummet right now. Happy in some trouble. Can he get more adepts in over here, though? The main Terran army actually manages to hold up the majority of that. You know, again, adepts, they're good units, but there's a point in time where you need to get more sophisticated units to combo with them. The Phoenix is not able to pick up in time as the adept numbers are too small. A big win there for Happy.
Absolutely, he cleaned up big time, and the brilliant move that he had in his fight is that he pulled SCVs from there to come and tank at the front. So even though a lot of SCVs died, he doesn't care. As long as he has enough left over, he could move across the map and finish the game. But you know what? He pulls back and he's doing nothing.
This is weird.
I think if you realize that Happy has like another base here in the fourth, Happy would be like right across the map. You might even have pulled his SCVs here to pull the boys to try and finish it.
Yeah, he might have to. I mean, he's going to have to do something because, yeah, with the 68 probes, he can definitely remake that army pretty quickly. Great job, though, here with these adepts. Now we got to find out if Haas can actually warp in enough back at home.
For another draw.
It's another draw, Todd. He's coming down now. Unpowering these gateways, taking out the Robo, really nicely done, and the adepts then go into the main. It's really going to come down to how Haas can actually handle this attack over here.
Actually, because there are this many Phoenixes, it would be much harder for it to be a draw here. Haas would have to really mess up big time, but if you look at the armies, 87 to 99, it's not too unrealistic. Can he, actually, he just needs to stay there with the Phoenixes, just kill everything on the ground and everything in the air with the Phoenixes. Not sure what Happy is thinking right now. Kind of needs to go back and defend. The Phoenix is trying to catch a little bit of this isolated part of the army. Oh, he oversteamed a lot, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Well, he still's got a lot of energy, but yeah, any medevac he gets here, it's going to be pretty huge. The probes are now up over in this part of the map. Nobody has enough money, at least right now, to make another Nexus and or command center.
Look at these guys. The resistance, man. The
last few hanging on here. Is he going to have it up here? The adepts now phase in, doing a lot of damage, but are there too many Marines and Marauders? So many medevacs, every single unit is getting its own personal healing.
Oh, maybe he could have killed all the Marines, actually, if he targeted with the adepts and with the Phoenixes as well. But now Haas throws away more units. The army supply is still almost dead even, Tasteless.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And they're not going to have much left over. We have the adepts now coming down. He has to actually wipe out this army. And
this has to be a win for Haas, though, right?
You know, he does have a Nexus there at the bottom left, so as long as he kills off this army, I think he's okay.
Adepts really don't do too much damage to buildings. So Haas decided that he wasn't going to be able to kill all of these buildings, and he wasn't sure he could find them all. So he moved back across the map here to try and fight this army. But if he was to only fight it with these adepts without the Phoenixes, that would be a big mistake. He needs everything. And he's got so many probes left over, 40 to 5 SCVs.
Yeah, that's pretty big. He has a good number of gateways in his main, right?
Oh!
The other toast is Phoenix bites, the dust. Yeah, he's got enough gates, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if he just starts mining for, you know, a minute or two, he will have another wave. Yeah.
And Happy actually has the supply to even make new units himself, so if he lands a bunch of mules there, he can start production again. He's got all of these depots. How many? Oh, he's got only one Rax though.
Oh, that's a problem. Only one Rax.
Oh, that's very important. If he can pick up... To be honest, there really isn't that many Marines, but targeting them manually with Adepts will be very, very hard. Like, he will be a big gamble. If he moved in with this, try to target the Marines, and then somehow lost all of his Phoenixes, then the game's over. Because on the ground, he's not going to win against that many Marauders. So I don't think Haas is going to try that. I wonder what he tries here. Like, I guess just get more army. That's the mission here.
You know, I think.
Oh, actually, you know what?
A Dark Shrine just makes.
A Dark Shrine would be sick here because.
Yeah,
sure, there is an eBay for turrets, but it's only one orbital that needs to be spamming mules right now for Happy.
And, you know, with only 2 SCVs compared to the 40 right now for Haas, I mean, like, he needs the money.
No.
No way.
Expand forward as well.
Yeah, it would make sense if you did it, like, in the upper right, where it's like, yeah, you probably won't find that.
No, like here, like, in a corner, you know, like, defensive. Like, if he makes it here, it's, like, towards the Terran.
Yeah, that's crazy if he expands there. More pylons coming down, which will then be used to open up his supply to make more army.
Actually, that's why, like, a lot of these are, like, not even mining, technically. You should long-distance mine. Even, I think, with some of these. So,
yeah, I think he would be super saturated otherwise with the minerals at his base. All right.
He was like, what can I spend my money in gas on? Stops +2.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, Dark Shrine, you called it. Just going to peek in here now. He's tagged that army so we can actually try to watch and see if a turret's going to be made there later on.
I think he killed maybe some mule and stuff over there. Just like
he could do it again here. Watch this. Nicely done.
Wow. throughout a game this long, has with almost double the supply now of his opponents. Happy hanging in there. I'm surprised Happy didn't try to fight though. Like if he had known that Has at this little, I think he might have tried. It's funny though that he gets a turret. You know, actually I mentioned this to you even before the series.
Yeah,
There's already Phoenixes. Obviously Tian's gonna get a turret. Goes DTs. Actually,
Yeah,
I guess he can send them to the main though.
I think you go to the main.
Yeah,
and,
but he's gonna send it there, trust me.
Just gonna get 4 of them and right-click on the turret and somehow win the game. I'm like, damn. That's
Terran is like
crazy.
sitting right there.
Yeah, yeah.
What a genius. There's no mule,
He's
just
a
at the timing,
genius.
tasteless.
Okay, he's gonna move the barracks over. Now this totally makes sense, right? He needs to basically keep everything in one spot. By the way, the worker count now, it's 8 workers to 39, but the adepts are gonna move up right now and start taking out all the depots up here. This could be another problem here for Happy.
It's so funny actually that he started that +2. I think it's actually quite good. Like, you know, I laughed, but he already had +2 armor here, did Has, and now he's gonna have 2-2 against just the 1-1. I mean, it's not like Happy's gonna be able to upgrade anytime soon. He might even lose that eBay here in a second.
And we don't see the Terran trying to come up here and defend. Looks like he's afraid of something else poking in and doing some damage over here to this, really the only expansion he has.
Okay,
By the way,
this is-
I love the mass expanding. You know what it looks like? It looks like it's a Brood War PvT.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Where you have like so many SCVs and like minerals are like the same. Like the Protoss has like so many minerals that he's like, oh, I'll expand there,
Or just
there.
expand to another main because that's a little bit harder to get to. But yeah, this game totally different from your normal PvT, but I'm loving it, man. I like just how kind of crazy this is.
Yeah, the income totally gonna take off though for Has here in a second with this double additional Nexus on top of the one expansion that he's got. And he's gonna supply block big time Happy. I'm really surprised that Happy has played it this passive. I think he's definitely misreading the game a little bit, but it's not like he could send a Marine and sacrifice it to see what the Protoss had, because every unit counts.
But Todd, doesn't it kind of look like it's Happy from Warcraft 3? I mean, doesn't there something just kind of, memory lane down here?
He has no Death Card Nova in his game.
Yeah. Yeah, with no death kill, man, I don't know what he's going to do, and he can't sell all those buildings, man. And take his 5 acolytes and move across the map.
He might have sold his entire main if he could.
Oh yeah, he would have sold that off immediately, man. But yeah, that's Happy. I mean, I'm kind of used to seeing Happy kind of sit there on one base and not do anything for a while. That's
You called 4 DTs, right?
Yeah, I did.
Just swap in 8.
Oh, but it's gonna be 4 Archons.
Wow. You might just go. Actually, like that's the good thing about Adepts. You can just send the shade in, kind of size the opponent up with these army amount, and even like you might think like a Terran army might be hard to attack into because it's like all clumped up and you can get inside. No, you can actually shade all the way around inside with all of your stuff, and then send in the Archons to clean up as well. And I think we're about to see the ending of that game here with Az that's about to attack. And to be honest, even if he somehow was to be held, he's got so much economy.
There was GG. An epic ending where he didn't even attack him. He's like, all right, forget about this. Go to the next game.
He finally realized, to be honest. I mean, I think it's okay, like, not to stay too long in a game like this. Like, you don't like kind of feel depressed for too long.
Yeah, I think we know where that game was going. I wish we could have actually seen that final battle, but good job, Has. He's actually up 2-1 right now. He just needs to win one more game, and then we'll be able to see him move on. Of course, Happy can always still come back. Happy, you know, it's funny, no matter what RTS he's playing, he definitely has this play style. Also very big on cutting workers out of the picture in order to get certain tech ahead of time.
It feels like he's kind of being forced in this situation, though, right now, with like Has just like throwing in all kind of cheeses, and Happy's like, all right, well, you want to play like this, I'll just stay on 2 base and then eventually attack. But then every time I feel like he's about to move out and attack, he's probably like second guessing himself. He's like, no, actually, I'll wait more. I'll wait more. I'll wait more. And then he ends up like never really attacking.
Well, it's this weird thing where it's like Has is like kind of starting to cheese him, but like Happy's like, nope, won't die this game. And then Has is like, okay, won't go in there and attack you, and makes a Nexus. And then eventually Has gets like further and further and further ahead.
To be honest, Has attacked and lost everything.
Yeah.
But then behind it, he just had like enough economy and bases to somehow recover in like what ended up being a little bit of a crazy base trade for some time here. So props for sure. I feel like I would have thrown for sure against Happy that was just like kind of sitting at home.
We're gonna go on to
actually. Sorry. I just realized like going for the base trades was not something that Has was forced into, but he might have been one of the best choices this game. Like he could have gone home and defended, but then he would have exposed himself to fighting the big army of Happy that he had left over from the main fight, and then he might have lost.
Well, also, because Happy's staying so low on bases, the base trade is always going to favor Haas in that case because Haas has more stuff spread out. So it's like, well, I get to get in there and kill all your critical stuff right away, and Haas has got expansions all over the map. So are you starting this, or are we...
I'm not host yet.
You're not host yet, okay. Guys, thank you for coming down here and joining us.
No, I'm just kidding. You panicked.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming down and joining us here on the B stream. We still got plenty more games to bring you today with Tasteless casting basically all of them, man. So this is like
as per request.
This is like Tasteless and like you're like you guys, the other casters like my Charlie's Angels. I'm like, all right, now
it's your show actually.
That's right. This is the Tasteless show where I run around and cast everything. I'm loving it, man. And I'm hoping we actually go to game number 5 here, by the way. These guys just play in a really fun way that makes me think about the game in a way I normally never do.
It's funny because like so much happens and the games are not even particularly that long, to be honest.
Yeah. He just really approaches it in a very different manner. We're going to throw this up on screen and introduce our players in the bottom right. In the blue, he is Happy.
I have to do better here than in his last game if he wants not to go out in
That's right.
map.
In the bottom left, in the red, our Protoss player, Haas.
Wasn't the best start actually last game for him, even like, you know, the pylon
A lot
got
went wrong. A lot went wrong.
Yeah, like, and then remember, like, you were like, is he really going to expand it? Is he really making Phoenixes? Well, guess what? Yeah, he was, and he ended up being a really good choice, to be honest.
Yeah. I was also interested when he made that Stargate outside of the entrance, and then he just like was like, yeah, that's fine. I'll just make my Phoenixes here. Like, this is cool.
Another gas first for Happy.
What is going on?
He just loves to do that no matter what here.
Yeah.
Maybe the 1-1-1 that I talked about on Arena, if he's, I mean, it seems like he's been wanting to do that kind of stuff, but every time, like Happy, even though he's going for a super aggressive build, like probably the most aggressive thing you can do other than like, you know, proxy barracks, like Reapers or Marines, every time he's going for this kind of build, like Haz is getting into his face quicker than Happy can do anything. There's already like pylons going down his ramp. He's like, oh, damn, I can't stop my
Well,
stop
I think the problem is that Haas is not playing a normal game, so Happy's abnormal playstyle kind of falls short, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If
you know this pylon, by the way, right?
Yeah.
You make the Stargate the closest you can to the Terran base.
Yeah, man. Let's get it over there right away, man. But yeah, I mean, this is what's kind of funny about it is like because Haas has this weird approach to the game, I don't think Happy's able to utilize his strengths with some of these, for instance, these powerful one-base builds.
Yeah.
The 1-1-1 you were saying.
But this time around, it doesn't look like Haas so far is planning anything. Or is he?
Oh, or is he?
Crouching probe hidden pylon tasteless.
That's right. He's got the probe out there. What's he going to do with this? Doesn't seem like that's a particularly well-hidden probe, by the way.
You know, it's funny, by the way, like he scouted the factory and then pulled back. I feel like I'm so slow, like I would spot a factory and be like, oh, I still need to check the gases.
Yeah, no,
like, does he have gases?
No,
right?
I would do the same thing. I'd just look around. He's like, nope. Okay, well,
whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's going on? What if he made a command center up there?
And then he would just die to the 3 pylon.
That's right, yeah.
Sick meta.
He's like landing all his mules back there, like trying to hold off this attack. Yeah, let's see what that SCV is going to be used up there for.
Actually, yeah, he might in a second.
I think he's actually going to do this. This was something that was more common in Brood War. Do you ever hear about that guy like XDS Kiwi? Did you ever hear about this player?
The nickname tells me something, but
so like this guy was like #1 on WG Tour ladder for a while, and like they had this whole thing where like every game that you played, it would upload your replay. And so I was super excited to see like what this guy's playstyle was like. And then it turns out he just like he did this. He just did this every game with every race. He played random, and I'm like, oh.
And people didn't pick up on it?
It was like 2 weeks. I don't know if I was the only guy actually watching all the replays. I'm like, I could beat him right now. Give me a game with this guy. I'll take him right out, man. I'll just send a probe to every base, and then I'll win and wreck him.
But did it happen, or you didn't match him?
I never ended up playing him, man. But yeah, I mean, this is like kind of an older strat that it's interesting. Now, here's the truth: is I don't think Haas is going to find that base, man.
Oh yeah? How wrong are you, Tasteless? It's Haas invented
In fact,
stuff.
Haas is going to try to expand up there in about 5 minutes, and that's how he's going to find it, Todd.
That would be hilarious. Actually, it's even like an interesting mind game from Happy, where he's like, you want to keep me in my main?
Yeah.
Keep me in my main. Like you're going to think I'm on one base. Actually, the trick when you go for this kind of hidden base is to not stay on too low bases. That works even if you do it as like a third or fourth.
Yeah.
Like you need to still expand there because otherwise it's very easy for the opponent to be like, oh, he's not expanding, I need to check out on the map. Whereas like now, Haas down the line is going to see that command center and be like, okay, he's just slow expanded on his natural. But no, there's going to be that one around the map where he's going to be landing mules, making SCVs and stuff. Sick mind games, Tasteless.
Sick mind games, man. This it's smart too because this has all been. I mean, this is Happy definitely making proper adjustments based off of the his playstyle. Saying, all right, well, he's getting pretty used to me staying low econ, low SCV. And when you do this strat, guys, because I know a lot of you guys probably haven't really seen this that much at high level play. You want to land all your mules at this base specifically so that you've mined up as much of it as possible in case you get caught and you have to pick up and leave. You've really sucked out all the resources there. You're kind of like behind for a little bit. Like you don't have a big army, and oh my God, no! He's gonna make it. Oh! It's so crazy!
You called it. Well, I mean, not quite there, but he starts to hit the
It's so crazy. That's even.
And
like,
look at this.
Oh
Tasteless.
my God!
Are
He's
you
gonna
ready?
get surrounded. He's deep in enemy territory, Todd.
GG. No, wait, no.
GG, guys. This is so weird. Ooh, comes in here and gets the tank.
Haas series always deliver. Like, I hope he wins so we get to see more of him.
Yeah, me too.
There go RT Mactosis.
I'm going to change the whole casting schedule so I can just follow Haas around his turn and be like, look, he's doing it again. He puts Nexuses everywhere.
He's so crazy. No gases on the natural yet as well. Like, it's so funny because, like, if Happy would scan now and see no gas, he's like, oh God, 7 gates.
Yeah,
defense,
yeah,
bunkers. Yeah. But no, it's actually double Nexus.
He actually plays it like it's Brood War PvT. They don't have vultures on this map, all right? They don't have to go mech. It's like so funny to see this.
Yeah.
Because, like, guys, it's so risky to take this many bases, all right? Terrans have this unit called Medivacs. It's crazy. It can transport units and it can fly and it can go fast. It can go to those bases and kill it pretty quick.
Happy's being so defensive as well. Like starting a turret there is like enough. Okay, he scans, sees no gas.
Yeah.
But he sees a lot of probes though. That's kind of a big tell. But what does he start? Oh, yeah, he starts additional defense. He's like, he's gonna attack me.
Like,
no, he's
right,
not gonna attack
to
me.
defend. Oh!
No.
Nexus Mania. What is going on? This is.
He's not even gonna have enough probes.
How?
To
Yeah,
start
I don't know if is that ever actually even good in this game. Like, he's gonna have like 4 probes there, mining. He's like, yeah.
Like he's so close yet so far.
He's just making nexuses around the map. And Happy's got this base all hidden up here. Okay, so the worker count right now is 63 to 42. With Haas at
oh
a
my
lead.
God, he's got 63 probes, Tasteless.
Yeah.
Like the production, he can just go literally go like 15 gateways, send at depths, and play like the campaign. Like you just spam at depths into the Terran that's trying to defend.
Oh yeah.
His base gonna burn down slowly but surely.
Dude, here's the crazy thing, right? I don't think Haas takes another Nexus. You are actually done taking expansions right now if you have this many minerals, which means Haas is probably not going to find out about that base in the upper left.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, he's probably not going to go there for a little while.
If somebody was to find out about it, I feel like it's... Actually, I wonder if he makes a gas here, would he have vision, you think? No, probably not. Like, maybe barely.
Well, maybe he could like click on the minerals and be like, oh, he's mining from this.
Oh, we're going to find out!
All right, here we go.
Maybe he could see the...
Maybe when the SCV goes to the bottom right?
No, like when the SCV finishes the refinery, doesn't he get a little bit of vision?
Yeah, I believe it gets a vision boost.
If he sees this shine, he would realize when saturating
all the Terran buildings like just have a slightly reduced vision, right? When they're making, and then when they finish up, they're
actually if he has this hotkey and clicks here, that's what he would see. So maybe he sees this shine. Oh, Happy. Oh, I probably won't see it.
SCV ready. That's too bad.
This is so sick. And I mean, like even if he saw it, what does he do? Like send some medivac around, try to drop into there. But Haas has so many Phoenixes, like it would take like 3 medivacs to be sure you can snipe that. And then he could recall, by the way.
Yeah,
he could
that's
recall with that
true.
and send the Phoenixes.
Uh-oh, run out of there. Okay, he's gonna transfer probes over here. He's getting more Stargates, getting that fleet beacon. And yeah, he is none the wiser. These guys are just sitting right next to each other. And this is crazy, Todd.
Happy is so paranoid, man. He made like bunkers, depot to wall off against the depths. Made a couple liberators that he was just camping there. Just salvage one eventually.
It's quite a bad investment, to be totally frank, man.
You know, actually, like I feel like when you go for this as Haas and like you get this many adepts and stuff, like the one thing that could be really scary is like mass liberators. If you let the Terran max out and get a big army, you're always exposed to losing to mass liberators. But in this case, He's got this covered. Triple
Yeah.
target with a
He,
third
like,
one on the way.
It's like he did like a
Tempest
tech
already.
leap, basically. He's like, actually going to be able to map the tech, match the tech, basically.
No.
Based off what's no.
They take all the bases and don't fight them,
my
tasteless.
God. There ain't no brakes on this crazy train. Gets the command center over there. This is madness, man.
Before he takes
I
these two
feel
as
like
well.
I'm watching like my two like newbie college roommates play against each other, and I'm like, this is like unlike any other game I've ever seen.
What's the name of the game where like you try to hit your opponents like boats and submarines?
Battleship.
Yeah, that's
They're
Battleship.
playing
Look.
Battleship.
And they're missing each
This
other
is
so
expansion Battleship. Who's gonna get sunk here?
far. Nobody so
It's
far.
gonna be Haas's turn next. He's got that little red thing he's got to stick on the board. He's gonna go, oh, you
Here?
sunk my battleship. Okay.
You know what's funny?
How many more bases? Let's ignore the bottom center. Okay, so in the upper right,
Yeah,
now,
there's
it would
these
be
two.
really crazy if Terran took that base. Like, go up to the left.
Has took this and then.
Wait, what
Terran
if? What? Yeah, what if? Yeah, what if?
and then
Terran took
one
that?
of them takes these.
Oh
and he
my
wins.
God! Yeah. This is just. This
It's funny
game is
'cause
just crazy.
I keep
The-
hearing scans, and then he sees this many Tempests too. Like this is probably gonna encourage Happy to mass Vikings and camp even more tasteless.
If I looked at this initially, I would be like, "Are we in like a team game with weird starting positions? Like, what's going on?" I'd be like, "No, they haven't really looked around. They're just expanding around the map. It's fine. These guys are tournament players. Don't worry." So he's gonna kind of come out here, and he's gonna try to poke in.
Yeah, I mean, with this many Tempests and Oracles, to be honest, you can't just like keep on doing this. I don't know.
Yeah,
what-
it's actually really hard, especially with the rocks there. Terran can't actually do that much. He's got some Vikings here, but
He needs more Vikings, way more.
Yeah,
Vikings.
way more Vikings.
Yeah, just make yourself at home, Has. It's okay. He's doing the same across the map anyway.
Yeah, has his fight.
Oh! Going straight for it. It's just Tempest naked. There is no stalkers.
Yeah,
so he can
actually,
just
that's
move
true.
in there and
Yeah,
kill everything.
he actually, yeah, we're so used to having stalkers below him that I'm like, well, this can't possibly work. Then I'm like, wait a minute. So stalkers came out here on the low ground, and
It's so funny, by the way. They're standing across from each other with the rocks in middle.
yeah, man, it's kind of crazy. Let's.
Just shooting from afar. It's like the shooting range, and you got something in middle. Like,
I
what is this game?
I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to cast another game like this ever
Probably
again.
not tasteless,
Never
considering
again.
you cast the GSL.
That's right, man. Oh, man, the Vikings coming here now, blowing back these Tempests.
Wow. I mean, this is still very annoying here for Happy to do. I'm a little bit surprised, though. I guess the ground army here of Has is still pretty scary. No.
Oh, my God.
He's getting a
Mothership
mothership
core.
tasteless. And on the other side, we've got a fusion core.
This is madness. And they still haven't found out that they're expanding all over each
I also
other.
got a vision. Like, nope.
You know that Haas is like, I'm so smart because I'm
Hey,
going to take these other two bases
you
in the
know-
upper left.
Happy probably thinks he's in a great position right now. He's like, I got these bases, this fool doesn't know.
Yeah, actually,
And then
that's
Has
true.
is like,
Oh, my God, that's so
and neither of them is paying attention
Yeah.
to these ones as well. Oh, actually, yeah, Happy cleaned this up.
Well, yeah,
Look at this
I mean,
upgrades. How often do you see this being made? All of this.
I think you're totally right. They're probably both convinced that they are 100% going to win this game.
He found it.
Uh-oh.
Hello. What is he gonna do?
Now, does Happy notice? Did he see the
Yeah, he knows,
worker grow up?
for
Okay, he
sure.
knows.
And he can't do much about it, like other than move out and try to fight his army. He keeps on scanning. He saw that the adepts left. He could engage.
Oh!
Recall!
He's got to get out. He's got to get out of there right now.
Oh, he gets out, but the adepts are still very far away, tasteless.
Okay, well, this is actually really good right now for
Nobody.
Well, the thing is, the bases
Where's the
are going to be
minivacs?
gone.
Oh, there.
right back there. They're coming up here now.
And
He
the adepts are
actually
not there.
Doesn't have like that much of an army.
Oh, he's about to have Storm.
Ooh,
19 seconds. Yeah, he needs to go into the main. A couple of charges to buy time. Base trading as well in the meantime here. That's his comfort zone. He loves these crappy games.
Okay, he's going to take out the command center. We're kind of in a weird base trade scenario here. There's a lot more base going on here for Haas, by the way.
He's just across the map doing his own damage.
Ooh.
Oh!
Wow. Good storms going down there. Maybe not good enough, though. We'll see.
All of these units are red, though. He can reinforce. He's got more Tempest as well. The Phoenix is going to move in.
The liberation zones are coming down. Tempest still continue to fire. Deb's going up and trying to do some more damage up here. It does seem like the Protoss army is beginning to thin out.
Is there enough anti-air left over? He needs to, I guess, use these liberators to
he
clean
doesn't
up the air.
have, he doesn't have any Marines, right? It's just Marauders, right?
These liberators, I guess.
Look at that! Look at that! Isn't this a funny looking game?
Look at how much minerals and gas he has behind
Oh
this.
my God, he's loaded. He's got to spend that money.
Why not PF it? Why do I do?
Yeah, man, he should have made a planetary and then made an SCV out of that to go make a real command center over there after he's destroyed it.
I don't know if he's gonna have enough time here. Has so much left over, and he's got such huge economy as well. How many gates was he on? 13.
My God, man. Well, the problem is that there's no easy expansions to take. I mean, Protoss basically still has control of like most of the map.
I mean, Happy might just be overwhelming in a second. He's got 71 army supply to the 118 of his opponents.
Yeah, very true. And from here,
Cassidy is tasteless.
as you can see here, Probe versus Command Center. This is the revenge of the probes, man. Little rabies probes attacking those guys. I think this is where it ends, buddy.
Wow, so little left over here for Happy. He's actually gonna steam in there very eagerly. I don't know why.
Oh my God.
The Adams gonna just go past. No, they're gonna
go right into those liberation zones. He does not care. There's a lot of damage being done. He still has the Tempest, although he's not always targeting the liberators.
Don't tell me he's gonna clean up. With this little anti-air, he's actually covering his liberators that are sniping everything.
Is there something going on in the
Has
upper
spent
right?
his entire bank. If he throws away this army, I mean, he should have too much.
That's it. GG.
Wow.
Wow.
That was, by the way, a 6